Who's ready for some Miami Heat basketball with Deron Butler on Kendall Sports Network?
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deron Butler, welcoming you to the first day of 2026 for NBA Heat Zone Live. The Miami Heat are in the Motor City as they look to ring in the new year with to be one of the first teams in the NBA to get a win in 2026 as they take on the Detroit Pistons in Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. The last time these two teams met, it was a close game, but Detroit managed to get a win in the Heat's house. Now, Miami are on the road, especially with a 3-game winning streak. Their most recent win against the Denver Nuggets. Now they look like they can be a team that can go for 4. But before we get into all of that, I'm gonna share with you my 3 keys for tonight's game. Key number 1, defense and rebounding will be needed. Going back to the last game the Heat and Pistons played, it felt like the Pistons had more rebounding over the Heat, and their defense seemed to bother Miami's offense. So if Miami wants to counterpunch those things, they'll have to use defense and rebounding of their own. That's something that's going to be helpful against this Pistons team who is leading the Eastern Conference. Especially when you have big bodies like Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart that can rough it up in the paint. Speaking of the paint, number 2 is attacking the lanes. I know Miami from time to time will attack the lanes, mainly in fast break oppositions, but attacking the lanes will help them get to the free throw line. And a lot of times that can be beneficial for a team that's looking to jumpstart their offense. So Miami will need to do that and more. And third and finally, keep a consistent momentum and pace on the floor. Detroit loves to play a game that's up-tempo, and they love to attack, led by Cade Cunningham. But Miami's starting to get back that pace and flow that pretty much got them noticed by basically everyone in the NBA and outside of basketball. So if the Heat can rekindle and continue to build upon that pace and flow that they had since last November, then I think this Heat team's gonna be okay against Detroit. So right now, looking back at the Pistons, they can force turnovers. They do a lot of forced turnovers. So Miami will also have to take care of the ball a lot. You can't allow any mishaps on your end to allow the other team to get the big win. So, and the one thing that Detroit prides itself on, just like Miami, is defense. And the Pistons definitely have enough weapons on both ends of the floor, especially on the defensive end. And of course, Cade Cunningham, he is second in the NBA in assists and 12th in scoring this season. A bona fide all-star in his own right. So that's a person Miami will have to contain. So right now, the players are getting warmed up, and we'll be back for the starting lineups and opening tip-off for tonight's game. And we are back. Here's a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game. We have Davion Mitchell out there with Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware. And for the Pistons, we have Cade Cunningham, Ausar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, and former Heat player and three-point specialist Duncan Robinson. We definitely have some. This one's going to be very interesting because that Pistons lineup is 4-0 this season. I think we have some technical difficulties on our end. Just wait for a second. There we go. We're back. Ausar Thompson being introduced, as well as Isaiah Stewart. And for those of you who are joining in right now, feel free to leave a comment if it's anything related to basketball or this game, or how you spent your New Year's throughout this holiday season. Feel free to drop a comment and I will interact with you. Like I said before, this Pistons squad with Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren, they've been 4-0 so far. So this is a pretty solid Pistons team. Right now, the players are still getting warmed up. Players are being introduced. And we should have some action underway. The Heat so far, as I mentioned, their starting lineup consisting of Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, Kel'el Ware, Bam Adebayo, and Andrew Wiggins. Let's see if this team can continue their little winning streak they got going on. 3 in a row so far, including against the Denver Nuggets. All right, the players were introduced and still warming up, so we'll have opening tip-off very soon. Okay, the players are getting, and we're back. The players are all ready for opening tip-off, which we should have very soon. Those Detroit jerseys look dope, not gonna lie. And Miami wins the tip. All right, Bam is bringing it up to the floor. He gives it to Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins. And Wiggins gets Miami on the board. All right, and here comes Detroit now. Ausar Thompson being guarded by Norman Powell. Finds Cade Cunningham. Cunningham backing out Wiggins. And Cunningham gets the hook to put Detroit on the board. Here comes Bam. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell guarded by Cunningham. Davion Mitchell knocks down the fadeaway. And here comes Detroit. Cunningham kicks it out to Jalen Duren, and he gets fouled. I'm sorry, that was Ausar Thompson. So Ausar Thompson will go to the line for 2 free throws. Oh, I'm sorry, the referees counted that dunk, so it will be an and one play for Detroit. And Ausar Thompson gets the and one. And here comes Miami. Davion Mitchell being guarded by Cade Cunningham. Finds Kel'el Ware. Pass was broken up, but it was last touched by Detroit. Duncan Robinson doesn't believe he last touched it, but the referees say otherwise. Miami will inbound the ball. Davion Mitchell gets it to Norman Powell. Powell, all right, that's going to be last touched by Detroit. He'll still be Heat ball. Ausar Thompson was the one who had that block. Mitchell inbounds the ball to Bam. Bam kicks it out to Davion Mitchell. Back to Bam. And Bam misses that nice touch. Here comes Detroit. Ausar Thompson drives in and gets the hook. Detroit now leads by 3. And here comes Norman Powell. Powell being guarded by Thompson. Kicks it out. Back to Bam. And that's going to be a no-go for Miami. And here comes the Pistons. Cade Cunningham, guarded by Norman Powell. And that's broken up by Miami, and here come the Heat. Wiggins almost lost the ball. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. For 3, Norman Powell. And go Norman Powell Ranger. That's a 3 for Miami. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham, being guarded by Wiggins. Cunningham now, trying to find his way out. Here comes Cunningham. Gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. He baited Wiggins onto that foul. That was a very tricky sequence from Cunningham to bait Andrew Wiggins into the pump fake. All right, so at the line now is Cade Cunningham. Cunningham makes the first, and that gives Detroit the lead. And Cunningham makes both free throws. And here comes Miami. Bam has the ball, being guarded by Isaiah Stewart. Almost lost the ball. And Bam misses the basket, but he rebounds. Kicks it out to Davion Mitchell. Out to Norman Powell for another 3. That's a miss. Rebound by Detroit. And here comes Cade Cunningham. Cunningham being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Cunningham backing him down, but misses the hook. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Finds Norman Powell for another 3. And go Norman Powell Ranger. That's another 3 for Miami. The Heat retake the lead. Here goes Cade Cunningham. Cunningham being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Out to Isaiah Stewart for 3. And that's a miss. Here comes Miami now. Andrew Wiggins, guarded by Duncan Robinson. Former Heat teammates going at it. And that's a rebound for Detroit. And that's going to be a foul on Duncan Robinson. That's going to be 3 free throws for Andrew Wiggins. Let's watch again. Wiggins behind the line. Duncan Robinson got way too assertive with the defense. Duncan Robinson doesn't believe there was a foul, but he will come out of the game. All right, looks like we're gonna have ourselves a coach's challenge. Let's see what happens, but I'm pretty sure that was a flagrant foul on Detroit. That was a flagrant foul on Detroit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was a flagrant foul on Detroit. And we'll be back. Score is 10-9, Miami. And we are back. Score is 10-9 Miami. And crew chief referee Curtis Blair giving the official decision on that coach's challenge. That definitely looked like a flagrant foul on Duncan Robinson. That was definitely a flagrant foul. Duncan Robinson still arguing with the referee. So that should send Andrew Wiggins to the line. So far this season for Duncan Robinson, he's averaged 11 points off 42% shooting from the field. Okay, I guess Detroit will have the ball. Thought it would be 3 free throws for Andrew Wiggins, but nope. All right, here comes the Pistons. Kate Cunningham now has the ball. He shoots. It's a miss. And rebound by Miami. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Out to Bam. Here comes Davion Mitchell again. Back out to Bam. Bam misses that putback. Ball's loose. And it's recovered by Detroit. Here comes Duncan Robinson, being guarded by Wiggins. Gives it to Jalen Duren. Duren guarded by Kelal Ware. Here comes Duncan Robinson. Jalen Duren gets the easy. Jalen Duren gets the easy basket over Kelal Ware, and the Pistons retake the lead. So far, the Pistons have 8 points in the paint compared to Miami, who has only 4. And here comes Andrew Wiggins gets his shot blocked, and here come the Pistons in a hurry, finding Jalen Duren for the alley-oop. And that's going to be a 3-point lead for Detroit. Nice defensive sequence from Isaiah Stewart leading to the alley-oop. And that's a 3. That's a miss from Kelal Ware. And here comes Detroit again. Cade Cunningham kicks it out to Duncan Robinson. Out to Jalen Duren. To Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart missing that putback. And here come the Heat. And I think that's going to be a traveling violation on Miami, so it will go right back to Detroit. Yeah, that is a backcourt violation. Bam Adebayo didn't go past the line. All right. That was a costly error. Here come the Pistons. Isaiah Stewart has the ball. Gives it to Cade Cunningham. Cunningham missing that floater. And here comes Miami now. Jaime Hawkins Jr. in a hurry. Gets his shot blocked. But he will be fouled and go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, that last foul is on Ausar Thompson. Jaime Hawkins Jr. will go to the line for 2 free throws. Hawkins misses the first. Jalen Duren will come out of the game for Detroit. And Jaime Hawkins Jr. goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here comes Cade Cunningham, being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Cunningham out to Robinson. And that's gonna be an illegal screen on Detroit, so it'll be Heat ball. Isaiah Stewart was the one that couldn't get in possession for that screen. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell, being guarded by Robinson. Mitchell kicks it out to Kelal Ware for the corner 3. That's a miss. Norman Powell flies in, and he gets the basket to tie the game at 13. All right, and here comes Ausar Thompson. Gives it to Cade Cunningham. Duncan Robinson, corner 3, and he knocks it down. All those corner 3s Miami were always used to. Now Detroit is enjoying them. The Pistons lead by 3. And that's another costly turnover, and it will be Pistons ball. Nikola Jovic is entering the game for Miami. He replaces Kelal Ware. Nikola Jovic so far, he's found his game through these last 3 games. He's found his rhythm. And here comes Duncan Robinson. And he gets the reverse layup. And Detroit leads by 5. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Being guarded by Cunningham. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell out to Jaquez for three. And that's a miss. Rebound by Detroit. Here comes Ausar Thompson. Gives it to Isaiah Stewart. Back to Thompson. Gives it to Duncan Robinson. Back out to Isaiah Stewart. Back to Ausar Thompson. And it's stolen away by Miami. Here comes Jaquez, the alley-oop to Bam Bam Adebayo. Nice play up ahead, and that's gonna call for a Pistons timeout. After that nice play, the Pistons lead 18-15. This should be a good one in Miami. This one should be a good one in Detroit for us Heat fans. We'll be right back. And we are back. Score is 18-15. 18-15 Detroit. After that nice play from Miami, the Pistons looking to rebuild their lead right now. And Bam Adebayo has now tied with Alonzo Mourning for 593 games played in Heat history. The other two behind them are Udonis Haslem and Dwayne Wade. And can you believe this is Bam Adebayo's 9th season with the Heat and his 3rd as the team captain? All right. Pistons now have the ball. Cade Cunningham, he knocks it down, and we have ourselves a 5-point game. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Mitchell gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez driving to the lane. And he gets the basket plus the foul. Jaquez will go to the line. That foul had to be on Isaiah Stewart. I'm sorry, not Isaiah Stewart, but Cade Cunningham. I think it was either Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey who fouled Jaquez. Couldn't really tell. And Jaquez missing that free throw. All right, and here come the Pistons now. Jaden Ivey finds Jalen Duren. All right, the Pistons are swinging the ball around. They give it to Cunningham. Out to Jalen Duren. He misses it. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Bam, flying through, and he gets the layup. He wanted the foul, but instead he gets the layup as the Heat trail by 1. And nice block by Jaime Jaquez Jr. Cade Cunningham was looking for a foul call, but it doesn't get it. Here comes Bam, and that's going to be a foul again on Detroit. Kasparas Jakob-Junis is also in the game for Miami. Miami so far with 8 fast break points to Detroit's 2. All right, Jaquez now has the ball. Kicks it out to Kasparas Jakob-Junis. And that's going to be another foul on Detroit. All right, Miami inbounds the ball. Jaquez kicks it out to Bam. Bam loses the ball. And that's going to be another foul on Detroit. Miami right now, Miami are already in the bonus. Detroit already accumulating a lot of fouls so far in this game. So that will put Bam at the line. Bam makes the first. And Bam makes both free throws. So the Heat retake the lead. Here comes Detroit. All right, the Pistons are swinging the ball around. And they miss it with that basket. Here comes Miami now. Jaquez driving through. And that's another turnover for the Heat, and that will be Pistons basketball. All right, both teams now with 3 turnovers each. And here comes Detroit now. Jalen Duren now has it, being guarded by Bam and Jaquez. Jalen Duren missing that hook, and here come the Heat again. Jovic kicks it out to Drew Smith. And Drew Hill-Smith, 3 for Miami. The Heat right now on an 11-2 run. Here come the Pistons again. There's a 3. And that's an air ball. Here come the Heat again. Jovic. A 3. Oh! Nikola Jovic, 3 for Miami. As the Heat go on a 14-2 run, and they lead by 7. And here come the Pistons again. Jalen Duren being guarded by Jovic. Jovic with the back tap and brings it out to Bam. All right, here comes Bam. Kicks it out to Jaquez. Jaquez driving in. And he gets the layup. And it's now a 14-0 run for Miami as they lead 29-20. And that's going to prompt a Pistons timeout. What a run we are seeing from Miami right now. The Heat are on a roll, and they are in control of this game right now. We'll be back for more Miami Heat basketball on Heat Zone Live. And we are back. Score is 29-20, Miami. The Heat so far looking good. I mean, Nikola Jovic is finding his groove again. That's always a plus. And the Heat right now look like they have the flow and pace of this game in their control. All right, Ron Holland is in the game for Detroit. He inbounds the ball. And here come the Pistons. Right, the Pistons are swinging the ball around. He give it back to Jalen Duren. Duren being guarded by Kelly Ware. And another defense. Oh, sorry. Jalen Duren coming up big for that basket, and that ends Miami's 14-0 run. Here comes Jovic. Jovic gives it to Kelly Ware. And Kelly Ware puts it right back in Jalen Duren's face. Kelly Ware gets himself on the board with 2 points. Ball's knocked loose, and that's going to be with Detroit's ball. Last touch by Miami. And that's a basket for Detroit. The Pistons now trail by 7 in this game. All right, here comes Kasper Siakajunas. All right, the Heat have 11 bench points to Detroit's 2 in this game. Hawkins kicks it out to Jovic. Here comes Jovic, and he gets fouled. Okay, nothing. I thought for a second Jovic got injured, but everything seems to be okay. Speaking of injuries, the Heat are without Pelle Larsson and Tyler Hero for this game. All right, Jovic goes to the line. Jovic makes the first. Duncan Robinson re-entering the game for Detroit. And Jovic makes both free throws. So the Heat lead by 9. The Heat right now on an 18-4 run so far in this game. And here comes Duncan Robinson. Gets a layup. And that's going to end the first quarter. What a magnificent run for Miami, who went on that 18-4 run, led by Jaime Jaquez Jr., Bam Adebayo, and even Davion Mitchell. So at the end of the first, the Heat lead 33-26. We'll be back for more action in the second quarter. And we are back, ready to begin the second quarter. Jaime Jaquez Jr. comes up big with that layup. And we got ourselves a foul on Miami. That's going to send Gerald Sasser to the line for 2 free throws. Nice bounce pass from Jovic to find Jaquez on that last possession. Jovic's game is starting to get better and better with each game. All right. Sasser makes the first free throw. And Sasser makes both free throws. We now have ourselves a 7-point game. On the floor now for Detroit, we have Cunningham, Hollum, Sasser, Stewart. And for Miami, we have Jovic, Ware, Jaquez, Drew Smith, and Kasper Jakajunas. And that's a steal for Miami. And here they come on a fast break. Jovic gets his shot blocked. But that's going to be out on Detroit. The Pistons right now with 5 turnovers to Miami's 4. All right, and here comes the Heat now. Drew Smith now has the ball. Drew Smith almost loses it. Gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez being guarded by Cunningham. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. comes up big, and he is hobbling. He's hobbling right now. He has 9 points, going 80% from the field. Isaiah Stewart being guarded by Kel'el Ware, and that's going to be a foul on Kel'el Ware. Isaiah Stewart will go to the line for 2 free throws. Let's see what happened right here. Knee-to-knee collision with Cade Cunningham for Jaquez. That's what caused them to hobble a bit. Isaiah Stewart now at the line. He makes the first. And that will be Kasper Jakajunas will come out of the game for Miami. And in comes Andrew Wiggins. And Isaiah Stewart goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here comes Jaquez. To Wiggins for 3. That's a miss. And here comes the Pistons again. In a hurry. And gets the basket. Sasser getting that layup in transition. Marcus Sasser with 6 points, shooting 66% from the field. And here comes Drew Smith. And he puts it up for the basket. The Heat lead by 8. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham. Both the Heat and the Pistons have 20 points in the paint each. And that's going to be a blocking foul on Miami. I think that one should have been on. I think that one could be on Kel'el Ware. I'm sorry. Looks like no. It was Jaime Jaquez Jr. So that will send Cade Cunningham to the line for 2 free throws. Cunningham makes the first. And he makes both free throws. So we have a 6-point game. And that's a 3 on the way. Kel'el Ware missing that one. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Flying in. But And that's an air ball 3 from Detroit. So that will be Heat ball. Marcus Sasser missing that one. All right, here come the Heat. Marquez guarded by Kay Cunningham. To the Jovic. Miami swinging the ball around. They give it to Drew Smith. Here comes Drew Smith. And he gets fouled. This one's going to be on Marcus Sasser. Sasser got way too committed on defense for that one. So that will send Drew Smith to the line for 2 free throws. Right. Drew Smith makes the first. All right, Marcus Sasser will come out of the game for Detroit. And Drew Smith makes both free throws. The Heat lead by 8 in this game. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Cunningham guarded by Drew Smith. Loses the ball, but it's going to be still Detroit basketball. Last touch by Drew Smith. And that was going to be out of bounds on Detroit, so it'll be Heat ball. Jaden Ivey kind of stepped out of bounds on that one. Nope. No, that was a backcourt violation. His foot was past the line. So that's 6 turnovers for Detroit and 4 for Miami. All right. Nikola Jovic for 3. Misses that one. Rebound by Detroit. Here comes Jaden Ivey in a hurry. And he gets the layup in transition. As the Pistons trail by 6 in this one. All right, Miami swinging the ball around. They give it to Wiggins. And Wiggins gets the tough basket. The Heat go up by 8. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Flying in. And he gets the basket under the rest. And here comes Andrew Wiggins answering back, but no, blocked by Isaiah Stewart. Cade Cunningham so far with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists in this game. As this one is a crash out game. Both teams just playing with a lot of intensity right now. But that foul is going to be on Miami. Also, Thompson's coming into the game for Detroit. Green will take a seat. I'm sorry, Green will inbound the ball. Sorry, nope. Green will come out of the game. Cade Cunningham for the 3, and he knocks it down. So we now have ourselves a 3-point game. And that's going to prompt the Miami Heat timeout. The Heat may have the lead, but the Pistons are starting to come back into this one. Miami leads 43-40 in the second quarter. And we are back. Score is 43-40 Miami. The Pistons right now are starting to make a comeback of their own. So we'll see what happens right now. We'll see what happens right now as Kate Cunningham and company looking to retake the lead. All right, and here comes Andrew Wiggins. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Miami, and that's an unforced turnover. So that will be right back with the Pistons. Both teams have been shooting 48% from the field, and both have the same number of turnovers. But Detroit has answered back with 24 points in the paint to Miami's 22. But Miami has 11 points off turnovers compared to Detroit. And that was last touch by Detroit, so it'll be Heat ball. Right, Davion Mitchell is back in the game for Miami. He replaces Drew Smith. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Norman Powell. Powell driving in. The Heat swinging the ball around. They give it to Davion Mitchell for three. Nope. That's an off ball. And here comes the Pistons. Blocked by Kelly Ware. And here come the Heat again. They give it to Davion Mitchell. Back to Wiggins. Back to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell guarded by Cunningham. Here comes Mitchell. Kicks it out. Norman Powell for three. That's a miss, and rebound by Isaiah Stewart. Here come the Pistons. Gives it to Cunningham. Cunningham driving in. Isaiah Stewart for three. That rims out, and here comes the Heat. Here comes Norman Powell. And that's another turnover. Ron Holland with the steal. Doesn't get the foul, and here come the Heat. Nikola Jovic kicks it out to Kelly Ware. Gets his shot blocked. Nikola Jovic for three. Both the Heat and the Pistons are putting up bricks. The Commodores will be very proud of them. They are putting up a brick house right now in Little Caesars Arena. I mean, both teams need to slow it down right now. I know this is trying to be a fast-paced, high-scoring game, but both teams need to slow it down right now. Bam Adebayo's in the game. It's a three. That's a miss for Norman Powell. All right, Kate Cunningham now has it. Cunningham, guarded by Norman Powell, blows by him, and he gets fouled. So that foul is going to be on Andrew Wiggins, and that will send Cade Cunningham to the line for 2 free throws. Okay, Cunningham knocks down the first. Jaime Jaquez Jr. now enters the game for Miami, replacing Andrew Wiggins. And Cunningham goes 2 for 2 from the line. And here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaquez throwing it away, and that's going to be another backcourt violation on Miami. Way too many turnovers from Miami right now. They now have 8 turnovers to Detroit 6. Okay, Right, Drew Smith is back in the game for Miami, replacing Davion Mitchell. And Davion Mitchell does not appear to be happy about that one. And that's a 3 on the way. That's a miss. Nicely saved by Nikola Jovic. Good hustle. The Pistons right now on a 7-0 run. Bam Adebayo thought about a 3. Nikola Jovic misses the 3. And here comes the Pistons again. Can they come back to retake the lead? Yes, they do. Ausar Thompson giving the Pistons the lead as they go on a 9-0 run. Here comes Norman Powell. Ball was last touched by Detroit, and that's going to lead to a Heat timeout. Eric Spoelstra has seen enough, and his team feels like they are out of whack and out of sync on both ends of the floor. Detroit, meanwhile, they have a 1-point lead, 44-43. And we are back. Score is 44-43. Detroit. The Pistons have gone on a 9-0 run so far. I think either a 9-0 run or 11-0 run. But right now, the Pistons are in control of this game, and the Heat needs to get back on track. All right, Miami now has the ball. Here comes Jovic, guarded by Duncan Robinson. Jovic gives it to Norman Powell. Powell being double teamed, gives it to Bam. Bam with the step back. He knocks it down, and the Heat retake the lead. All right, here come the Pistons now. Bam Adebayo in this game, he has 8 points of 3 for 7 shooting from the field. All right, Duncan Robinson now has it. He drives in, loses the ball, and here come the Heat again. Drew Smith gives it to Bam. Out to Jovic for the open 3. That's a miss, and then rebound for no. That one's going to be another foul on Detroit. So far, Miami has gone 4 for 19 from three-point land, shooting 21%, whereas Detroit has made 25% from the three-point land. Nikola Jovic will come out of the game for Miami. That will bring back Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Simone Fontecchio is now in the game for the Heat. Former Detroit Piston. Jaquez gets the basket, and the Heat go up by 3. Jaquez now with 11 points off the bench with 5 for 6 shooting from the field. Robinson to tie the game. He misses it. Rebound by Bam. Here comes Bam. Bam being guarded. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Simone Fontecchio. And Simone La Doccia Vita Fontecchio. 3. Mwah! Love it. And the Heat go up by 6. And here comes. Woo! That has to be a nasty lob for Jalen Duren. Putting Bam on a poster like that. The Pistons trail by 4. Marcus Sasser with the assist. And here comes Bam. Gives it to Fontecchio. Back to Norman Powell. Here comes Norman Powell flying in. Ball almost knocked loose. Recovered by Fontecchio. And that's going to be waved off. All right, Cade Cunningham is back in the game for Detroit. So it will be Pistons ball. Cade Cunningham gives it to Duncan Robinson. All right, the referee stopping the game for a second. All right, so Duncan Robinson will go to the line for 2 free throws. Robinson hits the first. And Robinson goes 2 for 2 from the line. The Pistons trail by 2 in this game. Here comes Jaquez. Gives it to Bam. To Norman Powell. Powell with the crossover, the 3. And go Norman Powell Ranger. That's a 3 from Miami. And the Heat go up by 5. Norman Powell now with 11 points, shooting 50% from the field. And right back at it is the Pistons, and Jalen Duren is hobbling right now. Looks like he had an awkward landing. Another 3. And go Norman Powell Ranger. Another 3 from Miami. And they're up by 6. Jalen Duren still hobbling right now. He has the ball, guarded by Bam, trying to drive into the lane. No go, and here come the Heat. There's a fast break. Fontecchio has it, but gets his shot blocked. This has been a back and forth sequence, and Jalen Duren's there to get the easy alley-oop. What a game so far. The Heat lead by 4 in this one. Norman Powell being guarded by Cade Cunningham. Norman Powell. And he gets the floater as the Heat go up by 6. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Miami so far with 24 rebounds to Detroit's 20. The Heat have 13 assists to Detroit's 10. And here comes Ausar Thompson. Missing that putback. And here comes Miami on a fast break. Bam, flying through. Almost loses the ball. Recovered by Simone Fontecchio, and that's going to be a jump ball between Fontecchio and Duncan Robinson. Both players were traded for each other in the last offseason. Duncan Robinson, a former Miami Heat player, and Simone Fontecchio, a former Detroit Pistons player. and both players have the same skill set with 3-point shooting as their bread and butter. Detroit wins the tip as Cade Cunningham recovers the ball. Cunningham now gives it to Jaden Ivey. Back to Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham. Gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, that foul's going to be on Bam Adebayo. Cade Cunningham. He makes the first, and that will be a 5-point game. And Cade Cunningham makes both free throws. The Pistons trail by 4 in this one. Jaquez flies in and he gets the layup. And then he go up by 6 again. Jaquez right now with 13 points, going 6 of 7 from the field. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham. Cunningham guarded by Davion Mitchell. Out to Duncan Robinson for the 3. He misses it. Rebound by Fontecchio. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. To Davion Mitchell. Norman Powell for 3. Woo! Go, go, Norman Powell Ranger. That's another huge 3 for Miami. And the Heat go up by 9. And Norman Powell telling the Detroit crowd to be silent. That was a silencer for real. So at halftime, the score is 63-54, Miami. That whole first half was fast, physical, and a lot of baskets being thrown up in the air. I mean, whenever Miami and Detroit play against each other, it's always going to be hard hitting. It's always going to be a lot of buckets being dropped. It's always going to be a lot of defense being played, as we saw from Isaiah Stewart with a few blocks of his own. Both of these teams are playing very physically, very quick, up and down the floor. But right now, Miami has control of this game. Miami went on that run late in the first quarter, going on that 18-4 run to give them that huge lead. But then Detroit came right back into this one, led by Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, and Ron Holland. Of course, there were some major knee-to-knee collisions going on, as well as some physical play up front. But overall, right now, this game has been very fun and exciting to watch. Norman Powell knocking down his threes, Nikola Jovic trying to finding his game again, and he's continuing to look good every time he has the basketball in his hands. So right now it's halftime. If you guys have any Miami Heat basketball questions or any basketball related questions to ask, or what you guys did over New York. we are back. Ready for the third quarter. Score 63-54 Miami. Right now, the Heat have been dominating this game through three-pointers and fast break cuts. Detroit, meanwhile, they've been dominant. They've been trying to get their defense going, and this game has been very physical. All right, Detroit now has the ball. Jay Cunningham being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Duncan Robinson for three, and that rims out for him. Here comes the Heat. Bam, gives it to Davion Mitchell. Out to Kelly Ware. Back to Norman Powell. They give it to Bam for three. And that rims out for Miami. And ball's recovered by Detroit. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Gives it to Jalen Duren. Rebound by Bam, and here come the Heat. They give it to Norman Powell for three. That rims off. Ooh! That was a nasty fall. Both Bam Adebayo and Cade Cunningham are down on the floor. Cade Cunningham is up first, and Bam is slowly getting back up, being helped up by his teammates. There it is again. Cade Cunningham ran right into Bam, and that caused that collision. Cunningham was diving for the ball. At the same time, Bam was going for that rebound. Both players are okay, and Miami should have the ball. All right, so Davion Mitchell being guarded by Cade Cunningham. Cunningham Davion Mitchell loses the ball, and here come the Pistons. Ausar Thompson spinning through. Here comes Duncan Robinson. Gives it to Cunningham. Cunningham being guarded by Mitchell. The fadeaway, and that's going to be a foul. That will send Cade Cunningham to the line for 2 free throws. All right, Cade Cunningham makes the first. And Cade Cunningham makes both free throws. So we now have a 7-point game in this one. Right now, Miami 63-56 in this one. Detroit, so far, right? Detroit are one of the 4 NBA teams with the best home record. The other 3 being the Oklahoma City Thunder, New York Knicks, and Houston Rockets. Here comes Bam. Misses that basket. And he's there for the putback. So we now have ourselves a 9-point game. Bam Adebayo right now with 10 points, shooting 4 from 11 from the field. And here comes Jalen Duren. Stolen away by Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins guarded by Ausar Thompson. Kicks it out to Norman Powell. Powell being guarded by Duncan Robinson. Missing that fadeaway, and rebound by Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham finding Jalen Duren. Rebound by Bam. And here come the Heat. Here comes Davion Mitchell flying in. Rebound by Kelly Ware. Gives it to Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins kicks it out to Davion Mitchell for the corner three. And that goes in. Good night, off night, Davion Mitchell for that one. And the Heat go up by 11. The Heat go up by 12, excuse me. Rebound by Bam. And here come the Heat again. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Another three on the way. And good night, off night, Davion Mitchell again from Miami. And that's going to prompt a Pistons timeout. Nice three-point shooting from Davion Mitchell to get himself going as the Heat lead 71-56. And we are back. Score is 71-56, Miami. The Heat are starting to take over this game right now. The Pistons right now are looking for some answers on both ends of the floor. Right now, Miami has managed to come away with some big points. And so far, this game has been very physical. Here comes Andrew Wiggins. And he gets the layup out of nowhere. Right now, the Heat are answering on all fronts. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham. Cunningham guarded by Davion Mitchell. That's a three. Duncan Robinson. He misses that one. Rebound by Kelly Ware as the Heat go on a 10-0 run. And Norman Powell again from Miami. And the Heat are on a 12-0 run right now. The biggest lead so far is 19 points. And another rebound for Kelly Ware. He has 12 in this game. And the Heat go on a still on a 12-0 run, looking to add more. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins. Gives it to Bam. Davion Mitchell. And that's going to be a traveling violation on Miami, so it'll be Detroit basketball. Miami right now with 11 turnovers to Detroit's 9. All right, here comes Isaiah Stewart. Gives it to Cade Cunningham for 3. Rims out, and here come the Heat. Davion Mitchell gives it to Norman Powell. Powell being guarded by Duncan Robinson. And Norman Powell will go for the and one. That's a nice basket right there. Norman Powell is feeling it in this one. He has 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. He is taking center stage in this game. So right now, Miami's biggest lead so far is 21 points. Norman Powell can add on to that one. And he does with that and one. So it's now 22 points and a 22-point lead for Miami as they go on a 15-0 run. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Guarded by Norman Powell. Kicks it out to one of his teammates, and he gets the basket. So Detroit answers right back, and so does Andrew Wiggins for that layup. A fast layup at that one. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham. Gives it to Isaiah Stewart for the layup. So right now it's a 20-point lead for Miami. Here comes Bam. Gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins spinning. And he gets the basket. So it's back up to 22 for Miami. And here comes Cade Cunningham missing that 3. And another rebound for Miami. Here comes Davion Mitchell finding Norman Powell. That's a missed 3. And here comes the Pistons again. Pushing it up ahead to Cade Cunningham. And Cunningham gets the basket under duress. The Pistons trail by 20 in this one. Cade Cunningham with 21 points, going 5 for 12 from the field. Right, Davion Mitchell in a bit of trouble. Gives it to Bam. Bam missing that basket. Rebound by Detroit. Here comes Duncan Robinson. And the Pistons took off like Soul Train with that dunk. And that's going to prompt a Heat timeout. Green flew in the air and got that dunk. The Heat may have a big lead, but the Pistons are starting to fight back. Miami leads 82-64. And we are back. Score is 82-64. Miami. Here comes Cade Cunningham. He gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Cade Cunningham now at the line for Detroit. Cunningham knocks down the first. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Had to take care of some personal business. But right now, the Heat are also taking care of business, and that's a 3 from Go Norman Power Ranger. The Heat right now leading by 22 in this game. Here comes Cade Cunningham. That's a 3 from Isaiah Stewart, and he knocks it down from the corner. So right now, the Pistons are trailing by 19 in this one. Here comes Hawkins. Kicks it out to Nikola Jovic. He misses that one. And here comes Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham backing down Bam Adebayo. He gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. That foul's going to be on Bam. All right, Cade Cunningham. He makes the first. And that gives us an 18-point. And it's an 18-point game for both teams. And Cade Cunningham knocks down 2 more free throws. He now has 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in this one. Here comes Hawkins. Hawkins flying in. Misses the layup. Rebound by Detroit. Here come the Pistons with the step back 3. They knock it down. And that's going to prompt another Eric Spoelstra timeout. The Heat may have the lead, but once again, the Pistons are coming back. And we will be right back after this timeout break. Miami leads 89-75. And we are back. Score is 89-75 Miami. Here comes Nikola Jovic. And here comes Drew Smith, and he gets the basket. All right, here come the Pistons. They're swinging the ball around. And that's going to be a defensive foul on Miami. Drew Smith doesn't think so, but it's going to be a foul on him either way. Did not get in position enough to get the charge. So that's going to be 2 fouls for Drew Smith. Green at the line for Detroit. He makes the first. And Green makes both free throws. Here comes Jaime Jaquez. Gives it to Jovic, but Jovic loses the ball. And here come the Pistons again. All right, the Pistons are directing traffic. Swinging the ball around. And that's going to be a traveling violation on Ron Holland. So that will be Heat ball. And here comes Nikola Jovic. Jovic gets the ball to Norman Powell. He misses that one. And here come the Pistons. And they're swinging the ball around again. Green sets the pick. They give it to Ron Holland. Ron Holland being guarded by Jovic. And he gets the layup under duress. Right now, the Pistons are starting to make starting to make a comeback in this one. 12-2 run at that. And another air ball from Miami as Jaime Jaquez Jr. goes down. There's another three. That's a miss. Rebound by Miami. Andrew Wiggins kicks it out to Drew Smith. To Norman Powell for three. Go, go, Norman Powell Ranger. 3 for Miami. Norman Powell right now with 34 points, going 7 for 12 from beyond the arc. And here comes Detroit now. And they answer back with a bucket. Here comes Drew Smith now for Miami. Here comes Norman Powell, being guarded by Green. Hawkins there to set the pick. A three on the way. No go for Norman Powell. And Detroit recovers the ball. Here they come in a fast break. They lose it. Rebound by Hawkins. Hawkins with the basket. Out to Drew Smith for three. If he can get it off. He doesn't. And that's going to end the third quarter. Miami were on fire, but Detroit was answering back as well. So at the end of the third quarter, score is 94-81, Miami. Stick around, we'll be back for the fourth quarter. And we are back, ready to begin the fourth quarter. Score is 94-81. The Heat have control in this game. The ball was last touched by the Pistons, so it'll be Heat ball. Alright, Nikola Jovic now has the ball. Gives it to Simone Fontecchio. Back out to Jovic. Here comes Jovic. He gets fouled. Nope. They're going to say that's going to be an out of bounds on the Heat, so it'll be Pistons basketball. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Kicks it out to some of his teammates. And that's going to be another over and back violation on Detroit. So this will be Heat ball again. Miami right now with 15 points off turnovers compared to Detroit 7 in this one. All right, here comes Fontecchio. loses the ball, and here comes the Pistons. Cade Cunningham in a hurry, but he gets fouled. Cunningham will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, Cade Cunningham makes the first. And he makes both free throws. So right now, it's an 11-point game for Miami. Here comes Jovic. He gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins. And it looks like this. I think that's going to be a foul on the Pistons. All right, so Miami will have it side out. All right, here comes Hawkins. Hawkins guarded by Cunningham. Nikola Jovic for 3. That's an air ball. Rebound by Fontecchio, and he gets the layup. Simone Fontecchio giving the Miami Heat a 13-point lead in this one. And that one's going to be a foul on Drew Smith. Cade Cunningham almost got tripped up in that one. Already 4 fouls for Drew Smith. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham again. That's a 3 on the way for Detroit, and they knock it down. So we now have ourselves a 10-point game. Marcus Sasser with that 3. Marcus Sasser now with 12 points, a 4 for 7 shooting from the field. And there's Jaime Jaquez Jr. with the putback. Jaquez now with 15 points, going 7 of 9 from the field. All right, here comes Cade Cunningham, guarded by Jovic. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. A 5th one on Drew Smith. So already, Drew Smith could be going to the bench right now. And that might bring out Davion Mitchell. All right, Drew Smith will come out of the game for Miami. Davion Mitchell is now in the game for the Heat. And Detroit goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Hawkins. To Wiggins. Wiggins finds Mitchell. Hawkins. Jovic, corner 3. And it rims out. And here come the Pistons now. Sasser. Missing that one. But it's a putback for Detroit. And that's going to prompt Eric Spoelstra timeout. Eric Spoelstra does not look pleased about that last sequence. Detroit are still trying to make a comeback as the Heat lead 98-89. And we are back. Score is 98 to 89. Time for a fourth quarter follow-up. Norman Powell's been on fire with 34 points in this game. Miami has managed to out-rebound Detroit 41 to 33. Most of those rebounds from Bam Adebayo and Kelly Ware. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. continues to lead the bench for the Heat. In terms of points, Miami has 34 points off the bench to Detroit's 29. And here we go. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Nikola Jovic setting the screen. Here comes Jaquez. Gets his shot blocked. And here come the Pistons right now. Looking to add on to their run. Here comes Cunningham. Being guarded by Kelly Ware. Another three on the way. And Detroit knocks that one down, and we have ourselves a 6-point game. Sasser once again from downtown. The Pistons right now are on a 13-4 run, and we know Detroit likes to make a close game when it comes to Miami. Here comes Jaquez. Gives it to Jovic. Jovic gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins gets the basket. And right now the Heat hit the 100 mark. And they lead by 8. And here come the Pistons now. Okay, Cunningham. He has the ball. Marcus Sasser kicks it out. The Heat are diving for the loose ball. It will be Heat ball. Out of last touch by Ausar Thompson. Right now, both teams have similar numbers in turnovers. Miami with 15 and Detroit with 14. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Kelly Ware. Back to Mitchell. To Jaquez. Jaquez with a spin. And he gets the layup under the breast. And we now have ourselves a 10-point game in this one. Jaquez with 17 points, going 8 from 11 from the field. And stolen away by Jaquez. And here come the Heat again. Davion Mitchell. Ooh, the crossover. Jovic finding Wiggins. Wiggins with the turnaround jumper. That does not go. And here come the Pistons again. Marcus Sasser gives it to Ausar Thompson. Thompson to Cunningham for 3. That's a miss. Marcus Sasser, he knocks down the 3. And we now have ourselves a 7-point game. Marcus Sasser right now with 18 points, going 4 for 6 from 3-point land. And here comes Kelly Ware. Nope, gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. We haven't seen much of Kelly Ware in this game, only on the rebounding end. I know he had to do a lot of dirty work going up against Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. Kelly Ware makes the first. Norman Powell and Bam Adebayo entering the game for Miami, replacing Nikola Jovic and Jaime Jaquez Jr. And Kelly Ware makes both free throws. Kelly Ware with 4 points and 12 rebounds. Let's see if he can get him going. And there's a block from Kelly Ware. All right, Isaiah Stewart now entering the game for Detroit. All right, and here comes they give it to Kate Cunningham. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Detroit. And here comes Davion Mitchell. Mitchell kicks it out to Andrew Wiggins for three. Chief Andrew Wiggins, 3 for Miami. And the Heat go up by 12 in this one. Here comes Isaiah Stewart. And Detroit gets the dunk. Here comes Bam. Bam gives it to Wiggins. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. I think that foul is going to be on Marcus Sasser. Oh, I'm sorry. Miami will have it side out. It's a 10-point lead. Here comes Norman Powell. Kicks it out to Kelly Ware. Wiggins. Missing that 3. And we have another foul on Detroit. I think this one's going to be on Isaiah Stewart. Yep, that's going to be a 4th foul on Isaiah Stewart. I mean, we'll have the ball inbound. Here comes Norman Powell. Detroit almost came away with a steal, but they managed to get the ball right back in bounds, and it bounces right off of Miami. It will be Pistons basketball. Both teams right now with 16 turnovers each. Isaiah Stewart with a nice assist, and that brings Detroit within 8. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Out to Bam for 3. And Bam Adebayo knocks down that 3. The Heat go up by 11. And Bam Adebayo now with a double-double and a steal for Miami. Andrew Wiggins. Nope, that one's going to be a wedgie. The ball is wedged between the backboard and the hoop. So I think this one's going to be a jump ball. Yep, it will be a jump ball. All right, Miami wins the tip. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell flying through, missing the basket, and recovered by Andrew Wiggins. Back to Davion Mitchell. Back to Wiggins. That's a miss. Recovered by Detroit. And here comes I'm sorry, that was Marcus Sasser going to the line for 2 free throws. I'm sorry, Detroit will have the ball inbound. Ball's knocked loose, but the last touch by Detroit, it will be Heat ball. Right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Andrew Wiggins now. Being guarded by Cade Cunningham. He loses the ball and he gets fouled. That one's going to be on Cade Cunningham. Andrew Wiggins will go to the line for 2 free throws. Andrew Wiggins makes the first. And Andrew Wiggins makes both free throws. Here comes Marcus Sasser for Detroit. He gives it to Cade Cunningham. Ball's knocked loose and recovered by Miami. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Norman Powell. Out to Khalil Ware. Ball was knocked loose. Knocked away by Detroit, so it'll be Heat ball. Miami will have it side out. They give it to Wiggins. Here goes Wiggins. And it's recovered by Detroit. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Ausar Thompson. And he gets the layup. So it's an 11-point game for Detroit. 11-point deficit for Detroit. Here comes Davion Mitchell flying in. Rebound by Davion Mitchell, but loose ball for Detroit. Here they come in a fast break. Cade Cunningham. And he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Let's see what. Cade Cunningham took a nasty spill, but the Pistons will call timeout as the Heat lead 112 to 101. And we are back. Score is 112 to 101. Cade Cunningham back at the line for Detroit. He makes the first. And we have ourselves a 10-point game. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is now entering the game for Miami. He replaces Kel'el Ware. And Cade Cunningham makes both free throws. Here comes Davion Mitchell, being guarded by Ausar Thompson. He gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins loses the ball, and here comes Detroit. Cade Cunningham now has it, being guarded by Jaquez. Cade Cunningham missing that basket, and here comes the Heat again. Detroit now with 20 turnovers, Miami with 17. And there's another foul on the Pistons. This one's going to be on Green. All right, Bam goes to the line. He makes the first. And Bam makes both free throws. The Heat lead by 11 in this one. And here comes Cade Cunningham. Gives it to Marcus Sasser. Sasser being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Ausar Thompson. Oof! And Ausar Thompson takes a nasty landing after trying to go for that basket. Ausar Thompson took a very nasty spell. So he will go to the line for 2 free throws. That foul is going to be on Norman Powell. Ausar Thompson misses the first. And Ausar Thompson makes both free throws. So we have ourselves a 10-point game. Here comes Norman Powell, being guarded by Isaiah Stewart. Norman Powell missing that one, and that's going to be a 24-second violation on Miami. So it'll be Detroit basketball. And that's going to be Miami's 18th turnover in this game. Here comes Cade Cunningham for 3. And he knocks that one down. So right now it's a 7-point game. Cade Cunningham with 31 points, shooting 33% from the field. I'm sorry, 22% from the field. Oh, that's right, 33%. And another steal, and here comes Cade Cunningham. Gives it to Ausar Thompson for the basket. And that's going to prompt a Heat timeout. Cade Cunningham right now with a double-double for Detroit. The Pistons are starting to make this far more interesting and a little bit more closer than the Heat would love to have this lead. Right now, Miami leads 114 to 109 in this game. And we're cutting it close into crunch time right now, so stick around. And we are back. Score is 114-109 Miami. The Heat needs to find some answers on offense because right now, Detroit looks like they're going to make this another close game. All right, Norman Powell has the ball. Here comes Powell, flying in. Misses the layup. Rebound by Cade Cunningham. Cunningham looking for the three. Kicks it out to Marcus Sasser. And he knocks down the three. Right now, I'm sorry, I think that was Green who made that three. So right now it's a 2-point game. And no answer from the Heat. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. And he makes a turnaround jumper. That was what the Heat needed all along. They needed a basket. And they got one from Jaime Jaquez Jr. So right now, that will prompt a Pistons timeout as the Heat lead 116-112. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a very close game. Once again between the Heat and the Pistons. So this one's going to be a nail biter. Jaime Jaquez Jr. so far has been the leading bench scorer with 16.5 points per game, followed by Philadelphia's Quentin Grimes with 15.5 points per game, and Minnesota's Naz Reid with 14 points per game. Jaquez right now with 19 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Shooting 9 for 13 from the field. You gotta admire his hustle, his hard work, and ethic. Right now, both teams have a timeout each, and Detroit will have possession of the ball. This is edge of your seat basketball time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here comes. All right, Detroit will inbound the ball. And stolen away by Davion Mitchell. He gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez gives it to Davion Mitchell. Out to Andrew Wiggins. And Norman Powell gets fouled by Cade Cunningham. So that will send Norman Powell to the line for 2 free throws. Norman Powell makes the first, and we now have ourselves a 5-point game. And Norman Powell makes 12 free throws. All right, here comes Javonte Green for Detroit. Flying in a hurry. Misses the layup. He missed the layup. And that one's going to do it. That one's going to do it. The Heat will come away with another victory. 118-112. Miami's win streak now increases to 4. Woo! This one was fast, physical, rough, and it felt like playoff basketball a little bit. The way those two teams played, you would have never guessed that one team was leading the East while the other one is currently in the play-in situation. Man, oh man, what a game. I mean, no lead was safe at any point. No large lead was safe at any point for Miami. And this was more like a game of runs for both teams. Every time Miami went on a run of their own, the Pistons found a way to come back, whether it was through Cade Cunningham, Marcus Sasser, Isaiah Stewart, or Jalen Duren. The Pistons would not be denied at any cost. However, the Heat, even though they were trying to get some baskets late in the fourth quarter, they should have gotten some from the free throw line. But nevertheless, Jaime Jaquez Jr. came up big for them. And speaking of coming up big, Norman Powell did his thing, and he led the way for the Heat on offense. If this man is not considered an all-star along with Kel'el Ware or Bam Adebayo, what are we doing, people? I mean, it's New Year's Day, and this is where the votes triple for all-star voting. So for my consideration and yours, Norman Powell should be an all-star for Miami. No questions asked. Norman Powell should be an all-star for Miami. And his 36-point game against Detroit makes a strong case for it. And same for Cade Cunningham in his performance for the Pistons. I mean, this is truly a physical game, a high-scoring game. And the Heat looks like the team that was on fire from November. Is this Miami Heat team back? They've knocked off Denver. They knocked off Indiana. They've beaten Detroit. I think this is a sign of things to come for the East. That this Heat team, even though they kind of fell off a bit, they're starting to pick themselves right back up. Don't count the Heat out at any point in time. This team can play with the best of them. All right, for the Heat, Norman Powell led the way with 36 points. Andrew Wiggins with 17.7 rebounds and 2 steals. Jaime Jaquez Jr. came off the bench with 19 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. And Bam Adebayo with a double-double of 15 points and 14 rebounds. As for the Detroit Pistons, Ausar Thompson had 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. Jalen Duren with 12 points and 5 rebounds. Javonte Green with 11 points, 3 rebounds. And Marcus Sasser came off the bench with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. And Cade Cunningham with an impressive double-double, almost near triple-double, of 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. That was a great game for the Heat. I mean, again, almost a near close game against the Pistons. Love to see that for them. A big win nonetheless. The next time we see the Heat, they'll be back on their home floor as they host the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think it's going to be a home game. Let's check. Yeah, it's a home game. The next time we see the Heat, it's going to be a home game on their floor as they host the Minnesota Timberwolves, Vice style. Again, the Heat and the Timberwolves, Saturday at 5 p.m. And you can watch that game on FanDuel Sports Network Sun, or if you're in Miami, your local WPLG Local 10. Heat Timberwolves, Saturday at 5. Lifestyle. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and keeping up with the play-by-play that I deliver. I appreciate you guys. I love each and every one of you. Some of you who may be coming in and out just to see what's going on with the game. I appreciate that. It's a new year. New resolutions are being made. And new resolves are being had. And my resolution to each and every one of you is to continue being the best play-by-play Heat announcer that I can be. I know I can stutter from time to time, get myself crossed up with my words, or try to think of something on the fly, but whenever I'm on the mic, whenever I'm delivering play-by-play, I'm always going to give it my all no matter what. And I'm always going to do my best. So that's my resolution to each and every one of you. Also, make sure to take care of each other. Look out for one another. Love each other. Appreciate each other. Always know that you have somebody's back and you are willing to take care of them. Because you never know when that day comes. I'm Deron Butler, reminding you to always run through the paint. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. God bless. Happy New Year. A happy, prosperous, and great New Year. A spectacular New Year at that. And as always, go Heat. See you guys when I'm back for another stream.